Hello, this is Yaakov Kronenberg from Jerusalem, and tonight will be another class on the series of classes, Leo Ascendant and the Sun in the different signs. Tonight we're going to be doing the Sun in the sign of Pisces, which in a Leo chart, Pisces normally falls in the 8th house. So it's a difficult combination because the nature of Leo and Pisces is very, very different one from the other. Actually, the Leo dies in Pisces. The 8th house is the house of death, right? And the Leo wants to be, recognized, to be important, and to be the center of attention. And the Pisces is a sign that wants to lose itself. It wants to merge with the universe. It's called the urge to merge. And so it wants to merge with the universe. It wants to lose itself, right? The Pisceans are the drinkers and the smokers and the thrill seekers and the lovers, the people who want to do everything to get themselves to lose their identity. And so it doesn't go together with the Leo. And it can be a difficult combination. I know I've had a lot of clients that had the Sun, had the Leo ascendant with the Sun in Pisces, and they all had a difficult time of it. I don't remember one person that really had it easy with that combination. Anyway, tonight, so a person who's got the ruler in the 8th house can go in a different way. The 8th house is like we said, it's the house of death. So it could be like always the person is going to be having his mind on, his or other mind is going to be sort of drawn towards death matters, and they're also going to be drawn towards all 8th house affairs, other people's money, interest in mysticism, psychology, things like that. Mysticism, psychology, psychiatry, interested sometimes in finance, working with other people's money. Those are the main interests that seem to be connected with the 8th house. Also pregnancy and sex tend to be connected with it, with the 8th house. And so it can be a difficult house. The 8th house is the house of change. So when a person's got the ruling planet in the 8th house, there's lots of changes in the person's lifetime, and most people don't like change, and so that's why it's one of the reasons why it's considered such a difficult house, because the person has a hard time getting things going. They're always changing. They're always undergoing a lot of changes. In any case, tonight I want to do the horoscope of sort of a famous man in America. He's passed away many years. He was a mystic, so to speak, a natural born American mystic. If you believe he really had the powers that he had. Okay, his name was Edgar Cayce, and this chart is very interesting. We'll look at it in a second. Let me just tell you a little bit about him, and then we'll look at his horoscope. And he was a man that he was born as there's nothing special about him. He was born in Kentucky, as far as I know. I think he was born in Kentucky in 1877. And I don't think he didn't have much schooling. He got through 9th grade and then dropped out. He was very religious type of man. He was born to the member of the disciples of Christ, and he read the Bible once for every year of his life, taught at Sunday school, and he even wondered if his psychic abilities were spiritually legitimate. In any case, when he was a young man, he went into partnership with his father to sell insurance, I think, and he was struck by a severe case of laryngitis. And he completely lost his speech, and because of that, he had to stop working, and he decided to become a photographer, which would, in any case, put less strain on his voice. Again, photography also is very Piscean, right? All the photographers, people in films, and we're going to see in his chart he had 4 or 5 planets in Pisces, so that's a natural field to go to. But in any case, a very serious thing that he lost his voice, and I guess what happened is some kind of traveling stage hypnotist passed by, and he heard about Cayce's condition, and he decided to offer to attempt to cure him. Right, and they took him on stage, and I guess while he was in a hypnotic trance, his voice came back to him. But when he awoke, he lost it again. He lost his voice, even though they tried post-hypnotic suggestions, they couldn't get his voice back. But in any case, when this traveling hypnotist left, he referred him to another hypnotist in town who did to help him to get his voice back. And so I guess what do you call it? This hypnotist suggested that Cayce describe his condition and also give a cure for it while in a hypnotic trance. So Cayce described his own ailment. He said it was a psychological paralysis, and it could be cured by increasing the blood flow to the voice box. So this hypnotist suggested that the blood flow be increased, and I guess Cayce's face became flush with blood, and his chest area and throat turned bright red. And after 20 minutes, while still in a trance, he declared that he was cured. On his awakening, his voice was back to normal, and he had very few he had 1 or 2 relapses, but the same hypnotist cured him. And I guess after that, this hypnotist, had him, when he put him in a trance state, he had him tell him what his own problems were and what could be cured, and they proved accurate. And then they tried it on other people, and they saw that Cayce, while in a hypnotic trance, could tell you about the problems of other people and how to cure them. And so that's basically his story. He went off and he practiced that, whether he took money for it, or first he didn't take money, then he took money, just donations, and so he could, devote his time to it. But in any case, I don't want to get too much into it. We just to see the basics, so we can take a look at his horoscope here. Let's see quickly the horoscope. I think I spent a lot of the time giving you his bio. So in any case, he had 4 planets. That's interesting. His ruling planet, the Sun, there is in Pisces, and it's conjoined Venus, Saturn, and Mercury. Mercury, of course, rules speech, and in his chart he has Mercury exactly conjunct Saturn. And it's amazing, right? So Saturn causes paralysis. Saturn is very, very difficult no matter what planet it's connected with, if it's very, very tightly connected. And so here he had it within 1 degree, exactly 1 degree away, the Mercury from the Saturn. And the Mercury was approaching Saturn, and is in the sign of Pisces, which is the Bayonet paralysis, Saturn in Pisces. And somehow he overcame it. But you see the 4 planets there in Pisces, and that's the, so to speak, that they said he could get into the, he could get into other people's, you know, like, he could get himself into a trance state and cure other people's problems. And you see that with all those 4 planets there in the 7th or 8th house working together. And you also had Uranus almost exactly on the ascendant. So again, Uranus is an unconventional life. We always talk about that. Uranus on the ascendant, a person who sees himself as being very special. The Uranus on the ascendant. So he saw himself something to be like a prophet, and you know, that's the Leo nature. He sort of, you know, combined the Leo with the Pisces, his Leo nature to be a leader by putting himself in a trance state and curing people's problems. And I thank everybody for listening.